All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. So, on this episode, we're going to continue from where we left off with our last episode. We started in the southeast zone yesterday. We ended up dying with our level 75 newly geared character pretty quickly. So, I figured we're going to do a little series on progressing through the game. So, second on bunker is the easiest way to go, but we're going to go ahead and start at the chem plant, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the chem plant. We're going to see what enemies they have. We're going to talk about the enemies and what we're looking for. We're going to talk about the weapons, and we're going to make a kit for the chem plant. The goal is to find the cheapest gear that we can use to efficiently loot the chem plant. So we're going to go through this together. So I know we're going to be at the chemical plant. So let's start with the enemies. So the one thing I want to look at is health. And the reason that I want to look at their health is to see how much damage do I need to do to kill a zombie, right? So starting out, they have 700 HP, 700 HP. There's 800, so now we're up to 800. So we know to kill the highest enemy right now is 800 HP. I don't see any type of armor. Coming down, you got the rats, so they're 400 HP. Toxic Wolf, 500, 750 for the Meyer stag. Now, typically, these are not inside the chem plant, so I'm not too concerned about the Myers. Same thing with the bear. It should not be in the prison, and they have 5,000. So that's about it. So realistically, looking at this, we need to find the most effective way to kill something that's around 800 HP. 700, 800 HP. So what we're going to do is go over to items. We're going to go to weapons, and we're going to see what we're going to build. So I know right now my guy's set up for rifles. So we're going to go to rifles. So if enemies have 700 HP, but they do not have armor, what guns can we use to kill them? And now the other thing you got to think about is how fast can they kill them? I like to play weapons that can one shot, one kill. But is that achievable? I don't know. So we're going to build this together. So looking at these items, the warg can do, let's see here, 275, the X-Garen's 365, but you also want to look at damage per hit. So if you have boost, you're going to want to take your boost into account. Now my level 75 does not have any boosts, or very little boost. So I'm going to get whatever damage it really says right here. So if I was to take the X-Garen to the prison or to the chem plant, I could kill everything with 2 shots. Now, it does shoot slow. It would take me about 2 seconds to kill everything. And when you have exploding zombies running at you and you don't have the speed to get away, it can get a little sketchy. But the X-Garen looks like it could be a contender. So we're going to mark that one down. Let's see here. The Rust Hound does a little bit better. But again, if you look at this, 500 is not going to kill our 700 or 800 HP enemies. So there's no reason to go for the Rust Hound over the X-Garen. It doesn't shoot any faster, does a little more damage, but it's going to take 2 shots. And it's probably going to cost a ton. Let's look and see how much the Rust Hound is. Rust Hound is 17 million, guys. When you look at the X-Garen, X-Garen is only 3 million. So why would I pay 17 million for a weapon that's going to do the same exact thing as the other gun? Let me turn down my mic a little bit. I'm trying to get my mic tuned to where I want it. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and keep going. The Nighthawk, again, 500 damage, 425 per hit. It does hit at 1.5 a second, but I think the Nighthawk's going to be very expensive, and we're trying to do this as cheap as possible. Yeah, 76 million. So still definitely looking at the X-Garen. Let's go ahead and move down. Now this is interesting. We have the Rebellion, which only does 360, but it reduces noise, which is very handy because we won't have as much aggro. So how much is the Rebellion? 5 million. So, is it better? I don't know. Maybe that's something we can test. Let's keep looking. And the reason I like the Rebellion, guys, is because it does 300 a hit, which is not enough, but it shoots 1.5 bullets a second. So realistically, I'm going to do 600 damage quicker. But that's still not enough because we need to do 700 to 800. So realistically, without damage boost, this is not going to contend. We would need damage boost to make this really, really valuable. Let's keep looking. 266, not enough. Long shot. Again, 1 bullet per second, 400 damage, not going to work. Barnell. All right, what are we at now? 570 a hit. Again, they have 600 to 700 health. That's probably not going to work. So again, 700 health, guys. This one has 800. So we're trying to get close to one-shotting, if it's possible. May not even be possible. So moving on down, we got the Hailstorm. 399, 410, 3-round burst. It's not going to work. 505. What about the Torch Bolt? Now we're getting almost 2 shots a second. So we're looking at 600 damage. That's better. But I would imagine the Torch Bolt. Torch Bolt is 45 million. So again, for a beginner, guys, 45 million is out of the question. They cannot do that. And then you go into Dusk, but again, you got to be level 200. You know, this is for a new player. So realistically, looking at this lineup, my suggestion would be the X-Garand. I would say we'll test out a Rebellion just to see how that feels. So we'll snag a Rebellion. Let me see if there's anything else we want to really try here. I really would like to try a Barnell, but I don't think that's really going to help, guys, because that 570, we just don't have the damage boost. So anyway, I will snag these weapons, and then we'll come right back to this. But let me write this down. Hang tight. So real quick, I wanted to bring up one more thing. I was looking at the seasonal items, and I don't like doing event weapons because you can't always get them. But what we will do, just for this video, since the Easter event, we'll go ahead and try out this Hop Shot. The reason that I like the Hop Shot is because it does 300 damage, but it also almost shoots 2 bullets a second. So you're going to get almost 600 damage. And also, you're going to get armor penetration, which we don't need, but it also does 50% noise reduction and ricochets to nearby targets. So you'll hit 2 enemies at once. So we're just going to throw that in there to try that out. So we're going to try the Rebellion, the X-Garand, and the Hop Shot. Now, for our aggro, you have to have something to control the aggro. If you get a horde, what's going to save you? So again, items, weapons. I have my guy set up for machine guns. All right, well, what are our options? We should have a lot of options with machine guns because we have submachine guns, we have assault rifles, we have heavy machine guns. So let's go ahead and scroll down. All right, so the Avalanche is a great and amazing gun, but too pricey. I already know it. So let's go ahead and go up here. There's the MG42, but you're really not looking at much damage there. 263. I don't really see anything that's catching my eye. Let me go to. Let's scroll down a little bit here. There's miniguns. We might be able to try a Scar, possibly. What's the knockback on a Scar? 80. What's the knockback on this? 133. How much does a Tempest cost us, guys? 12 mil. Not sure if it's worth it. We might look at that. Let me write down. Let's do this. Let's write down Tempest. Let's write down Scar. I don't like the Scar or the Tempest because it is pricey. And if you guys don't like the video like this, let me know. I'm just trying to walk you through what I actually do when I make these videos. How much knockback does that have? 111. That's really not bad. Again, is it going to kill the horde quickly? Probably not. Yeah, probably not enough damage with that. A GAU. I wonder what that's. $800,000. 104 knockback. Interesting, guys. We might check that out. Kraken's gonna be a lot of money. Yeah, 56. So that's our heavy machine guns, I would say. All right, items, weapons, machine guns, assault rifles. Okay, here we go. So, what can we use here? What's the bull shark cost? 15 million. That actually might be a very good option. Doesn't have a lot of knockback, and it doesn't really do a ton of damage. We're looking for rather to kill fast or to have very good knockback. So I don't feel like that's going to work out. Again, these are limited edition. I tried Amethyst Raiders too much. Hypercoils too much. No dust gear. Event stuff, again, I don't really like it, guys, because you can't always get it. I mean, we can do the hair trigger. All right, and let's look at machine guns and submachine guns. So this is our last category. So we're going to scroll down. How much knockback? Not a ton. And it does decent damage, really. I mean, it's not bad. And it's only 5 million. Sorry, I'm writing this down as we go, guys. This is all critical information here. What else do we got, guys? The Raptor. Maybe we'll try the Raptor out. It's a lot of items we're looking at. The test won't have to be really long because we're not doing experience. We're doing survivability. Let's see. And event items again. That's all we're going to do. So I got our list of items. We're going to test that. And then we're going to go to... Actually, let's go to items. Let's go to armor. My guy's only got 50 strength, so we're not doing, any crazy armor. Let's see here. A Shinobu Mesh is probably as good as we're going to get. Yeah, Shinobu Mesh. And I already have a couple. So let me gather these items, and then I will be right back, guys. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do a stat reset. I had a free one, so I'm level 75. Here's my thought process on a stat reset for this character, okay? So if I go 100 strength, it's going to allow me to use heavy machine guns, which we're going to need for our test. It's also going to let me use better armor, okay? So at level 75, I have enough stats to do this. Endurance is the next thing I'll work on. I'll just keep putting points as I level into endurance for health. Agility, I want that maxed. Accuracy, 45. Critical hit, 65. Now, the reason I did this is because, like, my rifle needs 79 crit. Well, if I get stat points on my weapons, which I will, I just have to be able to get my critical hit to 79. So if I get, 14 more points, which I can get that 5 off each weapon easily, I'll be at the crit that I need. And then also, accuracy and reloading, I'll be getting bonuses from my weapons, so that won't be too bad. It's not perfect, but at level 75, this is probably what I'll go with. So again, people do it differently, but this is the build I'm going for. I'm going to go rifles, I'm going to go shotguns, and I'll throw the rest in pistols. It doesn't matter, because at level 75, I'm not going to be using anything else. So anyways, that's my thought process, and this is going to allow us to get a better armor for my character. All right, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and put everything on here. I did buy a gold membership, so I got it out of the credit shop. So now I'll get some better loot. We got our X Garand, and I'm grabbing the other items right now. So when I come back, we'll be all geared up. For armor, again, for strength armor, I was looking through here. A Tata is actually very cheap, and we're getting spammed. It's just this website. It's the only website that does that crap. Let me go back. So again, the Tata is what I'm probably going to go for. It's a very cheap armor, and it has great stats. So it has 400 durability, 95% damage absorption, and it's actually fairly cheap. So if you go to Tata, you can get one for 2.7 million. What you're going to want to do is look for the best statted one you can find that's relatively cheap. Like, that's pretty good. A 1520 for 2.9. Might snag that one up. 1913. 24.4. 22.19. And I like that agility for under 3. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to snag that one up for 3 million. And then we'll have that armor, and we'll have a couple Shinobus for backup. And Shinobus are... Shinobu meshes are about the same price because they are a non-strength build armor. So they're a little cheaper, but they don't have as much damage absorption. So that's what we're looking for, and we're looking for armor. So I'll put this guy together, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we're geared up. We have our Scar, the Tempest, the Hair Trigger, the XAK-47, which I seen this weapon and I was like, you know what, man, this actually might be very good. XAK or X weapons are actually very under thought of. I think they're really good and people don't really look at them. And then you got the Heat Pit. We have the discounted GAU services. We have the Raptor. We have the X-Garen. So we have our weapons. And actually, I got to get the Rebellion and the Hop Shot. So I'll snag those. All right, so we got our Hop Shot ×2 and our Rebellion. So we have our 2 rifles plus the X-Garen to give us 3 of those. And then we have 5 machine guns to test out here. So we got a lot of testing, guys, but it's going to go quick, okay? So before we get started, if you guys can only afford 2 weapons, that is perfectly fine. Grab your rifle, grab your crowd control weapon, and then use a stat booster. A stat booster is like a fire poker, a pen knife. It can be any item that's junk that just gives you some stat boosts. So again, just throw on whatever you want. We'll throw in the Scar. Looking at my guy, I should be able to... Oh, let's see here. I should have all the stats that I need to be effective. I have a critical hit as 88, and remember I only did 79, so my stats are looking pretty good, guys. So I think we're ready. I'm going to grab some ammo, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all the way over here to the chem plant, and we're going to test this out. So, and then we'll look at how much money the build costs and all this stuff. But might be a little bit of a longer video, guys, so I apologize. If you guys haven't, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, join our Discord. It's 100% free, doesn't cost you a dime. Would mean a lot to me. And thank you guys for watching, and let me start running. So I'll see you guys here in a second. And one other thing I recommend is if you're a new player, if you can afford it, go to the credit shop, go to specials. If you're doing any looting or have to go far away, go down here and just grab a mini speed boost, guys. It's 35% speed for 2 hours. I mean, it's if you guys can afford that, it is expensive, but it helps out a ton. So I'm going to grab that to help me move around because speed is key, guys. You have to be able to move. So I'm going to pop this and I'm going to start running. All right, guys, it's showtime. So we're 1 block away. We're going to go ahead and head over here to the chem plant. Hopefully I don't just get slaughtered right away. And there's bandits here, so we're going to have some aggro. Alright, so we're in the chem plant. We're going to be trying the X-Garen. So, 2 crits will kill. But again, 4 out of 5 bullets will crit, so keep that in mind. And I'm really not trying to loot. I'm just trying to demonstrate the weapons. So, if I was down here looting like this, what you're going to have to watch out for is these guys right here. So the issue is going to be when you have to deal with the exploders. It's not because they're hard to kill, it's because they run. And you can't let them get close to you because obviously they explode. So that's one thing you're really going to have to pay attention to, especially with being a low-level player. You don't have the health, you don't have the armor, and then your guns work, but not as well as you would like, if that makes sense. And that speed boost, that 35% speed boost, I have that on right now. And I'm still slow. You know what I mean? So you really gotta, I would really highly recommend that. If you're coming down here, plan on getting down here and looting. You know what I mean? You're gonna make the money back. Just come down here and loot, and it'll repay itself. You know what I mean? So if you can be down here for the whole day, get the 1 day boost for speed. So we're down here with the X-Garen, and I am able to loot. It is a little sketchy, you know. Obviously, it's not I'm not down here using no mag storm. I'm using a $4 million rifle to loot the chem plant. Now these enemies, they do not have armor, so that is a huge benefit to being in the chem plant versus the Southeast Zone. And what I'm kind of thinking with this series, guys, is what we're going to do. We're going to go over, you know, obviously this video, but then we're going to move on, and we're going to go probably to the prison. It'll be a little more harder. We'll have to upgrade our weapons, but we're going to do like a stair-stepping, a progression series for new players. I think this will help out a lot of people. And it may be better if you're doing what I'm doing, if you do it in single player mode. Multiplayer may help, but people cause aggro and they have the weapons to, you know, defend themselves, where you may not be in that situation. So you could come down here. Obviously, I think it's safe to say you could come down here and loot with the X-Garen. I'm doing it now. A little bit stressful, but it kills in 2 shots for the most part. You just have to watch for the runners, right? So what we're gonna do, and use the bars and the, you know, everything to hide behind. Make sure you guys use the environment to your advantage. All right, so X-Garen, I would say passes. All right, let's check out the next rifle. Let's do the Rebellion. So Rebellion, I think, will be very similar. I do not like that it takes multiple shots. That's 4 shots to kill. No. So unless you have a damage boost, I would roll out the Rebellion, okay? I don't think it's safe. I'm looking at I have a 50% speed boost. There must be a speed event going on or something. But anyway, I would not use the Rebellion, I can tell you right now. Unless you can afford a damage boost, Rebellion is a no-go. Let's try the hop shot. Definitely shoots way faster. I think still taking 4 shots to kill with a mag size of 16. I'm still not comfortable with it. I don't think that's going to be good down here. Hold on, I don't like talking with that Easter music. Yeah, I would not use the hop shot, guys. Again, you know, maybe you guys will have damage boosts. I don't know. But without the damage boost, I'm gonna say it's not worth it. I think the X-Garen is gonna be the way to go. And again, guys, I'm trying to find the cheapest way to efficiently, you know, loot down here. And it's hard to beat a 2-shot kill for what, 4 million? That was 3 because every shot does not always crit. Alright, so we've seen that we can loot down here with the X-Garens, okay? So we have our rifle. Now we're going to try out some of the machine guns. Now this is where it's going to get sketchy, guys. So we might die because obviously, you know, my guy's not really built for aggro, and we're going to cause some of it. But let me switch armors. Actually, I might want the movement speed from my armor I have on. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Scar. I have the Scar and I have the hair trigger. We're going to try the Scar first. I gotta get rid of this music, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so the Scar. Here's what I'll say. It's taking a while to kill them. You guys all seen that, right? So, but our goal is not to kill them, okay? That would be very nice. But the goal of the game right now is to survive. And I feel that if I have aggro, let me get some more. I feel like I can safely get out of the way, if that makes sense. So, I'm not too concerned using the Scar. I feel like it can push the horde back enough to where I can survive. So I would say the Scar can do the job. It may not be the best weapon, but if you have a Scar, you're going to be able to survive aggro. It's slow. It doesn't kill fast, but it has plenty of knockback. So let's switch to the hair. This is the hair trigger. This is the Easter item. No, aggro no. So I just got bit. Hair trigger is a fail. It's not going to kill fast enough. It's not going to keep them back. We need to get back in our inventory and try the next item. Oh, come on. Alright, so hair trigger, no go. Rebellion, no go. Let's put this in order here. No. We'll put the top up as good. So, the Scar was fine. X-Garen's good. I think the XAK-47 is going to be great. I think the Tempest is going to be great. Let's go ahead and switch our armors just to be safe. Okay. Alright, guys. So, now we're going to be trying the XAK-47. I think this is going to be good, but I don't know. We're going to try it out. So as you can see, it does have the knockback. You're not going to kill things very quickly, but the knockback is there. You know, if I got to get away, I can push them back. That has a lot of knockback, actually. So that's very nice. Okay, so the XAK-47. The XAK-47 is going to be a win. We got to switch to our Tempest now. So here's our Tempest. Oh crap, that was my fault. I wasn't backing up. So if I was to back up like this, I could walk. I can walk like this calmly and not have to worry. Again, it doesn't kill fast, but it is doing the job, right? The job is to keep us safe and to keep us from dying. So the Tempest is a good. It passes. Let's go back to the XAK. I want to try this one more time. 100 round mag. I'm just curious how fast it kills. I mean, it kills okay. I'm not gonna, like, slaughter a horde. But I would say it does pretty good. The pushback is very amazing. The pushback on the XAK is fantastic. I think the knockback on the Tempest is better, though. You see how I can save myself with the Tempest? So the Tempest and the AK are very close. And now let's check out... Let's check out the heat pit. I'll put this on just for a stat booster real quick. Alright, let's check out this heat pit. Alright, it looks like it's gonna have the highest kill time. Kind of impressive. Ouch. Okay, we're in serious. We might die. But that's okay. This is our last item. I'm not comfortable. Switching. You can clearly see a difference, guys. So it doesn't have enough knockback. So the heat pit does not pass. Okay. Now I want to go back in my inventory if I can get to it. Okay. Okay. So we've tested, I think we've tested all the guns. I think we're good. So I want to go back to the outpost. I'm just going to let myself die. All right, let's go back to the outpost and let's discuss this. All right, so I would say you can safely loot the chem plant if you have a Shinobu mesh. I know a Tata would work. A Tempest, a Scar, an X-Garand, and a stat booster of some sort, and an XAK-47. So this top row, let me get rid of some stuff here real quick, guys. Let me clean this up for us. Let's just throw this stuff out of the way. All right. So, I'll put my armor on. Let's go check out pricing. Let me pull up a sheet and get some prices for us real quick, okay? All right, guys, I'm about to flashbang you, so you can have a big white screen. Just heads up on that. All right. So we have all of our items and all of our prices, and I'm going to talk about how much this costs. So you have the Tata, which is our armor. Let's go cheapest to most expensive. So we're going to go Shinobu. Now we need a looting weapon, which is obviously going to be our X-Garand. And now we need our knockback weapon, right? Which is going to be our Scar, which is the cheapest. So for what? 5.7 million. You can get a build that will let you go to the chem plant, deal with aggro, and do your looting. I'm not going to say, like, you're not going to go there and just be flying through it. You're going to work, but you can do it, and it's pretty efficient, okay? It's not the best setup in the world, but it is by far the most cost-friendly method. Now, if you want to go a little bit safer, you can get the Tata. You can go with the X-Garand. So that's 6 million. And then you could go with the Tempest, which was very nice. But the XAK-47, guys, I think it's underrated. So I would say the X-Garand plus this. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 mil plus the Tata. So 10.5 million. So 10.5 mil for the XAK, the X-Garand, and the Tata. That would be solid. That'd be a good build. But again, it's twice the price. You know what I mean? So any way you guys want, you can put this together. And then you can get a stat booster for your third weapon. But other than that, one last thing I want to look at here. If we go to the wiki. Let's see. Machine guns. I want to see heavy machine guns, and I want to see assault rifles. XAK-47 does 371 damage, where when we over here and we have the Tempest, it does 382 damage. So that's why it was very close when we were seeing that. Knockback is 133. Knockback is 149. So the XAK-47 did have the highest knockback, guys, and it's cheaper. It's lacking the PvE armor penetration, but at the chem plant we don't need that. So realistically, the XAK-47 is going to be your best bet, and then obviously the X-Garand, just because of the price, and it takes 2 shots to kill without damage boost. The Scar, where's the Scar at? The Scar 9000, 347 versus the XAK-47. XAK-47 was, where's my damage here? 320, and the Scar is 347. Knockback power 80 versus the 149. So again, the XAK-47 going to beat that, but the Scar is cheaper. So you just got to kind of do the math and see what you guys want to do. But these items will let you loot in the chem plant with a survival rate that's okay, until you guys can get more items. But I mean, I think that's a very good build, guys. And again, I took you guys through everything I do. It did take us a little while, but I hope this helped you guys out a lot. And we'll do one again for the prison, which will change a lot of things. We're going to spend more money, look at different builds, and we'll also do it for the Southeast Zone. As far as implants go, guys, there's a million different implants. They all cost a ton of money. I'm just going with basic implant setups. If you guys want to see other implants, look at my other guide where I talk about the $100 million implant setup. That's what I would recommend you guys go to. I didn't even do that on this build. So very cheap build. Those are my items. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. This video took me a long time, guys. I mean, I've been working on this for almost 3 hours. So let me know what you guys thought about this, because I did work prior to even recording on how I was going to do this. So this video did take a lot of time, but please hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button, join our Discord. It's 100% free, doesn't cost a dime, in the description below. Leave a comment, thumbs up the video, and until next time, you guys stay safe out there. Peace.